Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a love card to share with you using the new Up With Love from Mama Elephant. So as you can see here, I have sort of laid out the design that I wanted to use, and underneath this video you can find a description box with a supply list of all the elements that you will see here. Most importantly, I am stamping out this bunny using the Crunchy Leaf from Fawn. This is a brown ink. It's good to work with Copics. That's the only thing I've used it for so far, so I cannot tell you anything more than that. But what I'm doing before adding the Copics is just going over the face and the balloon string with a Micron fine liner to get those expressions and those tiny details already visible. So now I'm going really slowly with my Copic markers. I have sped this up 3 times, so the fact that this is still quite slow is because I really wanted to keep it inside the lines, but if you go right on the lines, then you can get some sort of a no-line coloring effect, which was also what I was going for, but with my Copics this time. So this is a way that I really like no-line coloring with Copics. The fact that the ink is visible until you go over it really helps with seeing what you need to color when, so that's handy. Also, I am using Neenah Desert Storm, so you can see here it's not a white paper, and I only did this once, but I really like the effect on the Halloween card, where I also colored with my Copic markers onto this paper. It works fine. I must admit, in the beginning I was a bit, yeah, how do you say it? It was a bit daunting for me to start because you never know, will it bleed, will it not? But actually, in my opinion, this paper doesn't need a lot of layers to get a blend, so that is handy. For the bunny, I have chosen to use a brown color, also to have some sort of a certainty that the ink would be absorbed by the colors that I was using to color the bunny in. Really simple coloring. I'm starting with the darkest color, going towards the lightest, and I'm trying to have some sort of a light source. I'm just trying, there isn't any obligation, but this time for this card I'm trying to have a light source on the right bottom, like the right corner. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. It's not always that perfect, of course, but as long as it is cute, I am fine with it. So I'm just adding my Copic markers. I will add another layer to this bunny to have it a bit more dramatic, but so far it's going good. I'm also listing the Copic markers down below, also on my blog post. But yeah, that's what I'm doing, just really simple, not doing anything fancy. I just chose another color of cardstock. So here I decided that I wanted to have it a bit darker. I wanted to show off some parts a bit better. So that's why I added another layer. And then once that's done, I am going to make a mask for this bunny and the balloon. So I'm using some full stick post-it notes. I really like this, although I have heard that it's not that easy for shops to get their hands on it anymore. So I don't know if your shop is still selling it, but I love it. It's a way of masking, and this masking paper, if I can call it like that, just I can use it more than once, which I love, because fussy cutting isn't like the most lovely thing to do. But now with these scissors I actually can enjoy it a bit more than what I used to use. That was just a regular scissor from like high school still. There wasn't any sharpened tip on, so that wasn't handy. But I got this one from the sweet Annette that is following me on YouTube. She was really sweet to send me some scissors, so I have enjoyed it a lot already. I made these masks because I am going to do some ink blending, therefore I'm using the Cloud Stencil by MFT, and I am using this Hero Hues white pigment ink, and I first thought that I was going to add some really light clouds, but then even before I removed the masks, I just thought that it wasn't standing out as much as I thought it would be, so I changed that up. I decided to go a bit harder on them, and then I thought that it was a bit random that it just stopped somewhere on this panel. So I took the standard purple tape as always, masked off the edges, and I decided to add a lot more clouds than what is on there right now, and I also added a lot more ink to really let the clouds stand out. And then before removing the purple tape, I'm going to add some white going from the edges towards the bunny, fading out. I don't want it to cover the whole panel. The bottom doesn't need to have any white. I'm going to heat emboss a white sentiment over there. So yeah, I just want the most part of the upper half of the card to be white and then fading it out. And once that's done, I can remove the purple tape and my masks. So the mask I am reserving on the back of my stamp set so that I can easily reuse it next time. I am going to go over the edges where the mask wasn't really. When you're doing no line coloring, sometimes you go a bit outside lines. It's not that big of a deal when you just do it really smoothly, then it seems like it should have been like that. But of course when you are making a mask afterwards, then it can get a bit tricky, but just go over that color and nobody will know. I'm also going over the string of the balloon that I have covered with the white pigment ink, as well as the hairs of the bunny, the whiskers. Are those whiskers for bunnies as well, or is it only for cats? Because, yeah, I don't know that. So now I am removing the purple tape, and I went really slowly until I did the right side apparently, because I ripped it a bit. Like here, I stopped, I started on the other side, and I removed the part that was just coming off. Later on, I don't think it's on camera, I used also my eraser, the sand eraser from Tombow. With this paper actually it's quite forgiving because it looks a bit more rough, so with the use of the eraser it wasn't that hard of a problem. Here I'm adding my white embossing powder. This is from NUVO, it's Glacier white, also one that I really love. If you have a thicker script, at least the thickness of Mama Elephant, then these embossing powders are adorable. They melt really smoothly. If I have a finer script, then I use the Ranger embossing powder super fine detail, because this one can help you when you haven't stamped something out enough, because it melts really smoothly. But if you have a thin script, then it can blur your text, so I wouldn't recommend that, but for a script like this, or my favorite things, or long Fawn, it can work perfectly. I am adding some liquid glue on the back of my foam tape to have some more wiggle room to get this panel in the middle of my card base. And once that's on there, I will call this card finished. So what do you think? I really enjoyed making this card and also going with my Copics onto the Neenah Desert Storm again, because it really looks gorgeous. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, just down below in the comments. If you like this video, please give this one a thumbs up, and I hope to see you back next time again. Bye!